Welcome to Ghouls Night Out with your hostesses, Brandy and Jody. Hello, beautiful ghouls. Welcome. This is Brandy. I'm here with my sister, Jody.
Hello.
So I have some things that other people think Americans are obsessed with.
Oh, I love these.
Yeah. So, sorry. I wanted to say sorry about last week. I was very sick. And I would not have sounded good on the podcast. So we skipped it. Okay, so first one, breadsticks. All the
Yummy.
time, I know, right? All the time I wondered why Americans were so obsessed with breadsticks. Turns out U.S. breadsticks are totally different.
Oh.
So I'm curious what their breadsticks are like.
How could breadstick be? I mean, breadsticks can't be bad.
Well, if a breadstick is considered one of those hard pieces, it's like a circular cracker.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Those are breadsticks, but those are not the breadsticks that we eat. Okay, next one. Things being haunted. This may be a sweeping generalization, but why are Americans so obsessed with things being haunted?
Because it's fucking cool.
Fun. And it's
the unknown.
It's the unknown. That's exactly what I was about to say.
We want to get down to the bottom of it. What is going on?
Yeah, what is it? Is it dead people?
Is it something scientific?
Is it something that we're not supposed to understand?
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know. It is the unknown.
Yes.
Spelling Mississippi. Why are Americans obsessed with spelling Mississippi? Because it's fun.
Yeah. It's mostly a kid thing, I think. But
yeah, because when we're taught how to spell Mississippi when we're little, it's like a sing-songy kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oprah. Why are Americans so obsessed with Oprah?
I'm not.
You got me. Making up handshakes. Why are Americans so obsessed with making up handshakes?
That would be the male gender with the handshakes. It's not the females.
Usually the younger males.
Yes.
Too.
They're trying to be cool.
It's a kid thing.
Yeah.
Candles. Why are Americans so obsessed with candles?
I hate candles.
I like the idea of candles where it's the soft glow.
Yes.
And the nice smell. However, they're not good for you, and they're dangerous. I don't know what it is. I just hate candles. I hate them. I use incense. Yeah, I do too.
Or like an oil diffuser.
I personally think that's the healthier choice, so I use that too.
I love incense.
I like I wish I could light more candles, but again, it's just
dangerous. It would look pretty, but they're just it's not even that for me. I think it's more to do with it's like you collect them, and it almost seems like after a certain point they don't really smell good anymore, and then you just have a half-used candle stuffed in a cabinet, and they just pile up, and I finally just got rid of all of mine and just do incense.
Yeah, I do too. I don't know. I guess a lot of people like them. Getting clothing from t-shirt cannons.
No, let's just get something free.
That is free, and that's usually when you're drunk.
Yeah.
And it's great fun. Ice. Why are Americans so obsessed with putting ice in their drinks?
So it's cold? Who wants to drink warm drinks?
I don't know. I don't like ice because when it melts, it makes whatever you're drinking watery.
Yes, and I drink very slow. Mm-hmm. So I usually only get about a half a drink before it's just basically water.
Yeah. But yeah, ice, I mean, that's how we grew up. They put ice in everything, so we're just used to it, I think. Salad.
I am not obsessed with salad.
I am not obsessed with salads. I like salads. They're great to eat every now and then. But
every now and then, that's the key words right there.
Cereal.
Oh, I love cereal.
Cereal is great. It's like a great go-to if you just want something quick and maybe sweet. It's just yummy.
Super sweet, but it's good.
The Olive Garden.
Oh, I love Olive Garden. That's my favorite.
I'll tell you why we're obsessed with it, because it's fairly cheap and it's good food. And a lot of times you get like way more than you can eat.
Man, their what's it called? Alfredo sauce. Oh my gosh.
It's so good. I like their pesto stuff.
So good.
It's very good. Tax returns. Because we're poor.
Yes.
We get money.
We need our money.
The word literally.
I think I do that.
Well, Americans talk too much.
Yeah.
We all talk too much. So to get our point across, sometimes we have to exaggerate.
Yes.
And literally is a great way to do it. This one I don't fucking get, and I hope it has stopped, but gender reveal parties? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Stupid.
Okay, that is Americans in general, not me, not you. Most Americans have to make a party out of every little thing.
Yeah, and it's dumb.
It is super dumb.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, whoever came up with that needs to just stop.
I mean, there's so many things that people feel like they need to get together for.
And celebrate.
So they make a party for it.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. We're not that type of people, though.
No.
So, yeah, who knows why people do that. Circumcision. We're not obsessed. I think
it's just something that's pretty much automatically done, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure. I mean,
for
you get
like
to
cleanliness,
choose. You
like
get to choose.
it's a medical to keep it clean.
Yeah, it is cleaner.
Yeah,
if you do. Well, we're not obsessed.
No, it's just
something that we do.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day. Again, we like to get drunk.
Yeah, and it's another excuse to have a party.
Exactly. Bodegas.
What?
Bodegas. I'm not obsessed with bodegas, but...
What's a bodega?
It's just a little, shop.
Oh.
Like a little shop. I mean, we don't even have bodegas here, technically.
So I don't even know what the fuck it is, so...
They're just little shops, usually in, bigger cities. They'll just be, little shops where you can get almost anything. They're like gas stations for us.
Oh.
But without the gas, because most people walk in big cities.
Oh. Alrighty.
Chick-fil-A. I
fucking hate Chick-fil-A.
Hate Chick-fil-A.
I'm telling you.
It's the Christians that love Chick-fil-A.
I'm telling you. They made a deal with the devil.
They did.
And that's the only reason I can come up with why people sit in line.
I know.
To get fucking Chick-fil-A.
I know.
It's a fucking chicken sandwich. That's not even that good.
It's not.
I don't
get it.
I don't understand it.
I don't get it either.
I do not get it. They made a deal with the devil. I am telling you.
I agree.
They did.
They had to have. Because their little dry freaking chicken is not worth.
It's not good.
I honestly think it's because they promote their Christian shit.
Maybe.
And that's the only reason why people are obsessed with it.
I kept hearing people talking about it. It's like, I need to try me some of this Chick-fil-A, you know. And I did, and I'm like...
It's not great at all.
I could make this at home.
Absolutely.
And it would taste the same.
Absolutely.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
I saw, they have those, the real workers on their Chick-fil-A commercials, and they have their stories. There's a obviously gay man that was on one of the commercials, and he was talking about how much he loved Chick-fil-A. I was like, honey, they don't love you.
Yeah.
You will be judged in an instant. If I'm like, no.
I don't know, for some reason every time I pass a Chick-fil-A and the drive-thru is just packed, I get this weird feeling.
It's because it's disgusting.
Yes, I
get it
too. I don't understand it. I don't.
Okay, nice grass. We like our yards to be nice. We don't want to be embarrassed. Especially when you have a neighbor like Toady.
I know. This guy, his grass is always perfect.
He's old and he doesn't have to work anymore, though.
No,
so
he
he's
doesn't.
got time to do his yard work.
Yeah. I'm sure he hated it when I moved in.
Well,
At least I'm clean.
Yeah.
I told him one day, I'm like, you're lucky I even cut my grass. We were talking about yard work. I was like, yeah, I don't do a yard work. I was like, you're lucky I have my son cut the grass.
All right, next one is Girl Scout cookies.
Oh yeah, love
Those
some
are
Girl Scout
delicious,
cookies.
and they only come around like once a year.
I think that's part of the. If you could get them just anytime,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But you can only get them at a certain time.
Yeah, and you have to know someone
Yes.
that is their child is
Yeah.
selling Girl Scout cookies. Yeah,
I have
that's-
not had Girl Scout cookies in years.
Oh, they're so good.
I used to get Thin Mints and the Samoas.
They have a bunch of new ones now.
Oh God, I don't even need to know.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, Adam sent out a thing at work and he was like, Girl Scout cookie time? I was like, fuck, delete. It's like I have cash in my purse and no need for that. Next one is mac and cheese.
Ooh, yeah.
Mac and cheese is yummy and easy to make.
So last week, you know how Peyton comes over every Sunday for dinner?
Yeah.
He came over and he made me filet mignon
Ooh,
and homemade macaroni and cheese.
yum.
It was delicious.
Awesome.
Those steaks were perfect. Medium rare. He even did the crispy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
He must have looked it up. It's funny, my son cooked me dinner this week, too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was very nice. He had help.
Oh,
But it
well,
was very
still.
nice, yes. Okay, next one. Sheet cakes.
Any cake.
Well, yeah, sheet cakes are just, I mean, that's what we get at, like, especially for, like, special occasions.
Well, once again, parties.
Yes.
And they're enough to feed everybody.
Yeah.
And they're usually not that expensive.
Right, and they're yummy.
They are.
Sweet. Peanut butter. Why are Americans so obsessed with peanut butter? This
it's
person
good.
this person put, I have literally no idea. So it's not just us. Peanut butter is a good source of protein quick.
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of people
And it's like
peanut
super
butter.
easy. Like if you're like busy or something and you want just something real quick to eat, you just make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Exactly, and I think they are underestimating how yummy peanut butter actually is. I love peanut butter.
Oh yeah, peanut butter's good.
Talking about how long it takes to get somewhere. That's how we measure stuff, though, as in America, that other countries don't understand, because it takes us so long to get places that's how we have to deal with it. You know
I
what
guess
I mean?
so, because when you're talking to someone, you're like, how long does it take you to get there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I know that the guy that sits behind me at work, it takes him 45 minutes to get home. I don't know why I know that, but I do.
I've talked about it many times because I remember, answering somebody and say, oh, it takes me 20 minutes to get to work.
That's funny. I guess we don't realize we do that.
No.
We're not obsessed with it. We just don't realize.
That's just how we roll.
Next one, being grown. Americans are obsessed with seeming grown. Why? I don't get that one.
Is it like when you're a kid and you can't wait to be an adult?
And I don't think
something?
that's just Americans, right?
I wouldn't think so.
That's kids. I mean, kids are kids.
That's just kids.
Yeah.
They don't want to be. They want to be able to make their own decisions and do their own thing until
Yeah.
they actually have to, and then it's like, fuck.
I don't think that's an American thing.
No, that's just a human being thing, I think.
Next one, getting on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres sucks.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna skip that one.
Okay.
Jello shots. We
yum.
like to get drunk.
Yeah.
Especially if it
Once
doesn't
again,
taste like alcohol.
party.
Yes. This one, Halloween costumes.
Hello.
Yeah, exactly. Stupid. Saying bless you.
Oh. That's, I do it, but it's because that's how I was raised.
Exactly. We're not obsessed. I don't like that word, I guess, with some of these. We're
not obsessed with it. It's just something that we're taught.
Yeah. I don't say bless you to anyone anymore because that's stupid.
It
You
is
just
stupid.
sneezed.
It is stupid, but it's just a.
I know.
It's just a reaction. It's
When
just,
someone starts saying "bless you" when I fart, I'll start saying it to other people because it's a bodily fucking function.
most of the time when someone sneezes around me, I don't really say anything.
I don't ever. I think
But
it's so dumb.
Sometimes
I
it
don't
just
understand
flies out of my mouth.
Well, yeah. I sometimes I think it, like, but I don't say it because it's stupid.
It is stupid. Doesn't that come from, like, in the olden days, they thought that...
Like a demon was trying to get out of you or something?
Yes, and you're like, bless you.
So stupid. So stupid. Oh my god, he's got a cold demon. Holy shit. Christmas songs? Again, it comes around once a year. We're not obsessed with it. It's just the once, you know.
It's been so many years since I've listened to Christmas music.
Oh, me too. Yeah,
I don't care.
I think it's I used to do that shit when my kids were young. I kept it alive for them.
Yes, I did that too.
But yeah,
and now that Peyton's older, I don't.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Ranch dressing. It's good on everything.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Happy hour and marinara sauce.
What?
This next one, happy hour and marinara sauce. Not together.
Oh.
But happy hour because we like to drink.
Party.
And they're cheaper during that hour.
Yes.
And we're poor.
Yes.
Which we've gone over.
Yep.
And marinara sauce, it's yummy. I don't know.
It's good. I mean...
We like to eat.
I prefer just regular spaghetti sauce, not marinara sauce.
What's the difference?
Spaghetti sauce is a little bit thicker than marinara.
Okay.
And marinara, I think, has like chunks of tomato, which I don't like.
No, I don't like that either.
So I just like regular spaghetti sauce.
Making movies about serial killers.
Well, because it's fucking interesting.
And we cannot understand how...
That's it. Yeah, people... It always... I think it's funny when people... Why are you so into serial killers? And it's because we don't get it. We don't understand how someone can act like that.
Exactly. That's why I find it so interesting.
Yeah.
And I always, every show or story that I listen to where someone murdered someone, it's like the dumbest reason.
Oh yeah, it's usually money.
Yeah, and like how does their brain work to where they think that that's okay because they want their fucking life insurance?
Yeah.
What?
Usually it's men that have found someone else and they don't want to divorce their wives because then they would have to pay them money. Mm-hmm. So they decide it's better just to get rid of them and then they can get money for themselves by collecting their life insurance.
Exactly. Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, so that's why we find it so fascinating because there is no way my brain would ever work like that. And I can't understand.
That would never cross my mind to do something like that.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we don't get it. That's why.
And my last one, putting marshmallows on everything on Thanksgiving.
Once again, yum.
And no, we don't. It's just the sweet potatoes.
It's just the sweet potatoes, yeah.
And that's good.
That's very good.
Yeah. So, I hope we answered some of your questions that you had because...
With our sarcastic answers. All right. I am finishing up the stories I started last week.
Well, you weren't here last week.
Or the week before. Which are just creepy stories.
Okay.
When my husband and I lived in Houston, I would go the few miles east to Memorial City Mall to walk on weekend mornings. I spent my expected time walking and feeling quietly relaxed, headed west on Memorial Drive toward home. Although the 4-lane street was usually heavily traveled, only a few cars were out this early. I was traveling in the left lane with 2 cars ahead. Suddenly I heard a voice say, "Get behind the green car." I looked over and saw a green car passing by in the right lane. As soon as I got behind that car, I heard a loud explosion. In the rearview mirror, a cloud of debris, both large and small, was sailing through the air and fanning out across the road. A low-slung black car that had been ahead of me in the left lane had just rear-ended the car ahead as it paused to turn left.
Whoa. That's crazy.
I can't even imagine hearing a voice.
No.
You know?
And then, like, just calmly listening to it.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, look, there's the
I'll tell
green
you
car.
what, though. If I ever hear a voice, I'm doing whatever the fuck it says.
Yeah, you better.
If it comes out of nowhere in your car, especially.
Seriously, how is that? I think I would freak out.
You think, well, it's like we've talked about before. I think we should freak out, but in the moment.
Yeah.
It's
you
like,
never know how you're going to react.
Yeah. I think it's more of a freak out after the fact. When you start really thinking about it and you're like,
processing
oh shit.
What just fucking happened?
Did someone talk to me from out of nowhere in my car? Weird.
That is creepy.
Once when I was very little, before school age, my mom lost something very valuable. It was missing for a few days, and after the second or third day, I had a dream that I found it on a shelf in the garage. The next day, when my mom was lamenting about her missing item... Did I say that word right? Lamenting?
I think so.
I told her that I knew where it was, and I went out to the garage to find it exactly where it had been in my dream. She demanded to know how I knew where it was and didn't believe that it was a dream. 30 years later, I asked if she remembered the incident because I couldn't recall what the missing thing was, but she doesn't remember the situation at all.
Huh. That's interesting.
When I was younger, around 10-ish, I woke up one night and saw a black figure with red eyes in the corner of my bedroom. I turned on the lights and ran downstairs to my parents' bedroom. The house we lived in at the time was the one my dad had grown up in and repurchased as an adult. He told me he used to see things as well. I always had intense and what felt like irrational fears growing up. I'd see things and even hear voices. Fast forward to adulthood, and I'm talking to my husband about this experience for the 100th time. My son overhears and says he saw the exact same thing. He never knew I saw it too as a child. Growing up, my therapist always said I was hallucinating between sleep and being awake, but my son could describe the exact thing I saw. It gives me chills to think about.
It sounds like there was something in their house.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Very. Especially with the way it was described.
Yeah. Oh, could you imagine?
No.
Hell no. I would die. I would never sleep in there again.
It would really suck if I saw something like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have anywhere else to go.
Moving.
I guess I could move. I could switch them. That would be weird.
That would be weird.
I think they're the same size. I don't know. I was a teenager when I had a dream about a woman who looked a lot like my mother. In the dream, the woman told me that she was my mom's sister and that her name was Ida. The woman appeared to be in her 50s. This occurred in the early 1960s. After I woke up, I remembered the dream and thought it was strange because I didn't have an aunt named Ida. I told my mom about the dream and she said, I did have a sister named Ida. She died when she was 9 years old. As an adult, I did some family research. I found Ida's death certificate. She died in 1921 at the age of 11 years old.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
There has to be something happening. How in the world would they know that otherwise? Unless that person came to them in their dream somehow and talked to them, right?
Yeah, I mean, unless the kid heard a conversation or something and like forgot about it and it's like their subconscious bringing it up, but
it's strange. Though.
Yeah, who knows? When my grandma was 30, she needed surgery. While under anesthesia during the surgery, she had a dream about her father. In this dream, her dad came to her, gave her a big hug, and said how much he loved her and that everything would be okay. She always talks about how she remembered how the dream gave her such peace and felt so real. When she woke up in recovery, her husband, my granddad, told her he had bad news. Her father passed away while she was in surgery.
Oh my God.
She then said, I know, he came to me while I was sleeping. Crazy thing is, I'm a nurse and know the meds they give you for anesthesia make it impossible to dream or remember.
Shut up.
Still gives me chills to this day.
That's crazy. He had to. I mean, there's no.
There are so many stories of people that have died, and when other people, are sleeping and they come to them to say bye.
Yeah.
I mean, those people don't know they're dead.
Yeah.
So how does that happen?
I don't know. There's something going on.
There's something going on. One year, my brother, who lives just outside the city, asked me to watch his house while he and his wife were on vacation. I was woken around 3 a.m. by a spectacular thunderstorm, so I went downstairs to watch it for a while out the big picture window. While I was standing there, lightning struck something probably a couple of kilometers away. I don't know what it hit, but when it did, a bright blue dome that was easily the size of a freaking football field and tall enough to encase those tall grain silos lit up for about 3 seconds, and then it was gone. Unfortunately, there was no one to see it but me and the dogs.
That'd be cool to see.
That's weird. I wonder what it was. Was it just electricity?
Mm-hmm.
My father had come home for his final time as he was entering hospice. As I helped move him back, I was situated on the sidewalk facing my parents' home. Turning east, I could see down my parents' street. Through a schoolyard, I could see a portion of my aunt's home. I saw what appeared to be 2 flames framing each side of her steps. Initially, I thought they were the glare off rear taillights of a car. However, that was impossible as there was no driveway for a car to enter. I looked again and the flames were gone. This was about 5 p.m. in April and still daylight. After settling my father in, 2 of my cousins visited after seeing their mother, my aunt, who had been frying food. My cousin left just before 10 p.m. to go back and see their mother. A few minutes later, my parents' phone rang and someone told me that my aunt's home was on fire.
Holy shit.
I fled back to the same spot I had stood earlier on the sidewalk and could see the flames. She perished in that house fire. The initial moment seeing those 2 flames remains a vivid and startling memory.
That is crazy.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that's terrible. It's so weird, though, that she saw that.
Yeah.
Weird.
Several years ago, I was crossing the street in front of my apartment building on my way home from work. I was on the crosswalk and had the green light, so not jaywalking or doing anything wrong. Where I live, you can make a right turn on a red light, but you're supposed to come to a full stop first. I was almost across the street when the driver of a car in the right turn lane decided she was not going to stop. It happened so fast that I was sure she was going to run me over. The car was inches away when suddenly I felt some force pushing me backwards and out of harm's way. Someone or something was definitely watching out for me that day. See, and we hear a bunch of those stories.
Yeah.
And this is my last one. I am from Hawaii. We had a huge party one night and had gone to bed around 1 a.m. I woke up at 3 a.m. with an immense thirst, so I went to the kitchen for water. I happened to look out the window to the carport, which was conjoined with the house behind us. We never used the carport for cars, and neither did the neighbors. Instead, we had picnic tables out there and used it for parties. But when I looked out the window, there was an elderly couple sitting at one of the tables dressed in all white. I figured they were visiting the neighbors. As is Hawaiian custom of aloha, I asked them if they would like a plate of food. They both said that they would. Still not thinking anything strange, I made them each a plate of food. I was starting down the 4 steps from our door to the carport floor with a plate of food in each hand. I started to say something, but they both started fading away. By the time I had gone the 4 steps, they had completely disappeared into thin air. The food in each hand hit the floor. I ran back into my house and deadbolted the door. Nothing ever scared me like that.
Holy shit. Yeah, that would be scary.
Something disappearing right in front of your face.
That you were just talking to?
Yes.
Oh,
no.
That's creepy.
And that's all I got.
All right, I also have just some creepy stories. First one, I had a reoccurring nightmare in my elementary school years. It was the most frequent nightmare I've ever had. In it, Frankenstein lined up my family members, oldest to youngest, my dad, mom, my oldest sister Julie, my middle sister Natalie, me, and finally my dog Chewy. We waited in line from my parents' bedroom where Frankenstein had a huge blender and was blending my family up until it was just Natalie, me, and Chewy. I woke up screaming so many nights because of it. Fast forward to my late teens, I was dating a boy who was a martial artist, and I brought my friends to his fraternity house one night. Waiting in line for the bathroom, high on marijuana, I saw a painting one of his roommates did of Frankenstein putting people in line in a blender. I never told anyone about this dream, not even my best friends, but I shared it with them as we ran out of that place.
That's weird.
That is weird.
I wonder if they saw that painting somewhere.
Well, since they were little, they said they were elementary school age when they had that nightmare, and then years later they went to a college party and saw that painting.
That's weird.
That is weird. Next one, we bought a house in rural Minnesota. It was foreclosed and the bank had to replace a lot of components because the prior family, a couple with a son and daughter, trashed it after the foreclosure. When we moved in, there were what appeared to be knife stab marks in the bedroom doors, and the screen to the bedroom window was shredded. We assumed it was just from the house being trashed. Shortly after moving in, though, things started happening. My toddler would always say hello there to her bedroom closet, which we which we shrugged off as goofy toddler stuff. My older daughter one night saw somebody in our toddler's bedroom reaching their arm out to my kids. She screamed, "Leave us alone, please don't hurt us." I brought them into my room, locked the door, and called 911. The police said they saw all sorts of footprints circling the home in fresh snow, but no signs of forced entry. About 2 weeks later, I was asleep when I felt somebody gripping my ankles tightly. I thought it was one of my kids, so I told them to stop it, that it hurt. When I looked up, I saw a girl with long black hair and a nightgown at the foot of my bed. I jumped, and she was gone. The next day, I asked my neighbors about the family who lived there before me, and they said there was a lot of abuse in the house. We had to call the police multiple times. They then told me that the mom left the dad and moved out with their son, but nobody ever saw the daughter again. She just disappeared. When I asked, they confirmed that the daughter had long black hair. Needless to say, we moved out shortly after. That is creepy as shit.
That is super creepy. I wonder where she's at.
I don't know. It doesn't sound good, though.
She would have to still be on the property somewhere, right?
You would think so, yeah. Next one, I was around 18 years old when I woke up from a dream that felt too real. I told my mom that I was dreaming about a very big lady who passed away and couldn't find a coffin for her due to her size. This was back in Cuba in the 90s. My mom said that it was just a silly bad dream and to shake it off. The next day, my mom received a phone call from her family letting her know that her sister passed away unexpectedly. Guess what? She was a big woman and they didn't have a coffin that might fit her. They had to make one for her in her size. Ever since then, my mom doesn't want to know about my vivid dreams.
She's like, you know what? You can just keep those to yourself.
Next one, my cat is a psychic. One night, she woke me up by climbing onto my chest with one of my favorite necklaces, a gold chain that my best friend gave to me for my 16th birthday, dangling from her mouth. Confused, I scolded her for taking the necklace, put it back on my dresser, and went back to sleep. The next morning, my best friend called me and told me she had been robbed. She came home before the burglar had a chance to steal anything except a gold necklace. I told her about my cat's odd behavior, and we were both spooked. Another night, I was getting ready to go to sleep and couldn't find my cat. I looked all around and eventually found my cat sitting stiffly in a box in the garage. She was hissing and first standing straight up. I tried to bring her to bed with me. She generally sleeps next to me. But she scratched me when I tried to pick her up. She's never scratched me. I gave up and went to bed. Later in the night, I woke up when I heard the garage door open. I ran downstairs freaking out. The garage door was closed, but there were no intruders. My cat was still there hissing. There was no way she could have accidentally opened the garage because the button to open it didn't work, so I could only open it from inside the car. It's like she knew that would happen and was protecting me. Interesting.
If it wasn't open, then what?
Huh?
But when she went and checked, the door wasn't open.
She said the door was open, but there were no intruders.
Oh.
So, yeah, it opened. Next one, as a kid, I really loved one particular grandfather, technically a step-grandfather, but I adored him. He was covered in old Navy tattoos and smelled of pipe tobacco and Old Spice, and always wore cowboy hats and boots. I can still remember the sound of those boots, and my mother still blames him for my love of tattoos. Grandpa Fred was also a bit wild and loved to go up to the gold mines in Utah and Alaska and pan for gold. I thought this was so cool and loved to tell my classmates that my grandpa was a gold miner. Oh, that's the word you were looking for earlier.
Gold miner, yeah.
Not gold digger.
I knew it didn't sound right, but I was like, what else would it be?
It worked. One day out of the blue, he showed up to our house unannounced. No big deal. He did that often and would crash on my mom's couch for a few days. But this time he showed up at 2 or 3 a.m. and I could hear his boots in the hallway coming toward my bedroom. Sure enough, I heard my door open and him walk in. Again, he did this a lot to check on me when he stayed with us because I had terrible nightmares as a kid. But I didn't hear him leave, so I turned over and opened my eyes. Sure enough, Grandpa Fred was standing over me. It was weird because he would normally check on me and just leave, but this time he just stood there for a good moment, and I said, "Hey, Grandpa, I'm okay," and went back to sleep. The next day, my mom got a call in the morning. I could hear her crying. Turns out Grandpa Fred was shot in the mines and was dead. I was so confused and kept saying, "No, he was here checking on me last night." Every now and then, I still smell him when I have a bad dream.
Aw.
That's so nice. And it gave me chills. Next one, when I was a teen, my family moved to a bigger house that was about 10 to 15 years old. My siblings and I got kind of a weird vibe from it, like we weren't alone in the house. Strange things would happen on occasion, especially in our rooms. Things fell off shelves seemingly on their own when no one was there to see it. One time we decided to use a Ouija board and didn't really get conclusive answers, just gibberish of the same letters over and over. But things got weirder for me. My stereo system I had in my room would adjust its volume by itself. I thought maybe it was a glitch, but one time when it happened, I was looking right at the screen and the volume number turned all the way down when I felt something cold pinch my chin. I also saw a small white human shape at one point while getting up for the bathroom at night. I believed it was some kind of child spirit that was just having fun messing with us, but once I said something like, "You've had your fun and we respect you, but this is our house now," and it stopped. My parents also later told me that a neighbor asked them about the old lady that lived with us when we first moved in. The thing is, we never had an old lady living with us.
Yeah.
That's creepy. And my last one, I've always had weird dreams. One night, I was saying goodbye to a friend from a play date. I was 10. I said I might see you in my dreams tonight, not thinking very much about what I had said. That night, I dreamed a quite disturbing dream. A stalker was rapidly killing people, and I was the last person. I raced to the balcony of the house and watched as the killer approached me, and behind him, my friend. I jumped off the balcony and woke up with a start. The next day at school, I told her about the dream, and she gave me a look that I'll never forget, and said, "I saw you jump off my balcony in my dream." I had never been to her house before, as all play dates were at my house or outside. Sure enough, when I visited her house for the first time, the balcony was identical to the one in my dream.
Woo.
That is creepy.
That gave me chills.
That gave me chills, too. There's got to be some sort, we've had a lot of dream talk tonight.
Yeah.
There's got to be something that we just can't understand happening there.
Yep.
Crazy.
Well, it's time for the witty wrap-up.
Yay, witty wrap-up!
All right, so I'm doing the second half of the stories I did 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
which are basically what the fuck stories.
Okay. I don't think
I was working as a cashier in a small Pennsylvania college town, and a dude came in wearing a full-body chicken costume. As I was ringing him up, I asked if he was going to a party or was working as a mascot. He shrugged his wings at me and said, "Nah, sometimes I just feel like a chicken." Then he walked out with his soda and trail mix.
What the fuck? I think you actually did do that.
Yeah, I think I did after I was
That's
reading.
hilarious, though. What is wrong with people?
I used to work as a train conductor. One Friday night, I was working one of the last trains, and there was a couple that boarded. While I was walking through the train, I noticed that the couple had locked themselves in one of the tiny bathrooms.
Uh-oh.
I asked them to come out, and when they did, the girl had her hand clamped over her mouth. When I asked what was wrong, her boyfriend said that 2 of her false front teeth got flushed down the toilet. Mind you, the train had been in service all day, and that toilet was filthy.
Oh.
But she persisted in putting her fingers down the little hole to search for her teeth. The teeth were stuck. So I hit up the emergency tool cupboard and found some bungee clips, thinking they'd work. 30 minutes later, the teeth came flying out of that filthy hole on the end of the bungee clip. What happened next, I was not prepared for.
Oh, God.
The girl simply ran her teeth under the sink tap and put them back in her mouth.
I might vomit.
That is disgusting.
What is wrong with people?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. That is horrible. I don't give a shit. I would have been like, you know what? I don't need them. I'm good. The toilet can have them. Oh, my God.
Oh,
and how did she just...
How did they fall? How did your teeth? I don't...
Maybe it was like one of those, like, retainer things. You know, like her teeth fell out years ago and she got...
Maybe.
Replacement teeth.
Still.
I would have to sanitize them.
Oh, definitely.
Somehow.
They would not go in my mouth until they've been, like, soaking for, like,
absolutely
hours.
Fucking not. She just... No. No.
Disgusting.
Oh, my God. Vomit.
One Friday night in the mid-90s, my mom and I were watching The X-Files in the back room. She had a golden retriever who was hanging out in another part of the house. As we were enjoying the show, 3 big dogs, none of which were my mom's, suddenly burst into the room, happy and excited. They began just milling around. Meanwhile, my mom and I were just staring at each other, completely stupefied, for what seemed like several minutes. Finally, I asked, Who are all these dogs? Eventually, we heard someone calling out from the living room. My mom and I went to investigate, and we found a very embarrassed couple who had come to visit a friend with their 3 dogs and ended up at the wrong house.
Oh, my God.
We didn't stop laughing the rest of the night, and we still crack up about it to this day.
That is fucking hilarious.
You're just sitting there minding your own business, and all of a sudden 3 dogs come in. You're like,
I love the fact that they were happy and excited, too. That's great. They're like, hey, guys, what's up? What's up?
Just come to visit.
Fuck yeah. What are we watching?
Ooh, the X-Files.
Fuck yeah, we're into it. I love it. Fucking dogs. They're great.
One time, I was at a youth group thing for my church. I was with like 6 of my friends, and one of them, who's a girl, was having a serious conversation with one of our other friends, who's a guy, about how she's liked him for years. She started talking about her bad dating life and how she was really sad and was basically just venting. Then, out of nowhere, the guy she was talking to got down on all fours, crossed his eyes, and said, "I'm a squirrel." The girl was just like, "No, you're not a squirrel." So weird.
What? What is wrong with people? What the fuck?
Don't know.
People are so weird.
I
You're not a squirrel.
I don't even know what to say to that one.
He was though.
He was something.
Weird.
I was on a bus in Chicago back when I was in my 20s when a well-dressed man carrying a briefcase approached. He paid his fare, sat down, then stood up again a moment later. He looked at the rest of us and announced, "We're all filth in the great pig pen of humanity." Before sitting back down, he grunted like a pig. Weirdest thing I've ever seen.
What the fuck?
See, this is why I don't go anywhere.
Exactly. That is weird. That guy would scare me, I think. A little bit.
I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be like, Either that or I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? One of those 2 things would happen. I don't know which one.
I think I'd just hightail it off the bus or whatever they were on.
It's like, I'll just get off here.
I'll walk.
When I first got my driver's license, I was in the car with a friend on the way home. We were at a stoplight, and a man in a motorized wheelchair began crossing the street. He wasn't moving very fast, so when the light turned green, he was still in the crosswalk. Instead of finishing crossing the street, he turned into the traffic lane and just started doing donuts, all while staring me right in the face.
What the fuck?
He was being a dick. He's like, oh, you want to go? You want to go? Go ahead, go.
I'm just going to go around right in front of you. That's funny.
Well, we all have to have our funny moments, don't we?
It's the little things. It really is.
I was a newly minted pilot when I took off from a busy airport and headed out to practice flight maneuvers away from the traffic. As I turned away from the airport, I saw an object floating in the air ahead of me. As I got closer, I could see it was a giant Donald Duck head, which grew larger as I approached it. I was so confused and slightly scared. I turned to avoid it, and as I was doing so, I saw a relatively tiny basket attached to the head. I then realized it was a hot air balloon that had blown away from its launching site.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
That's horrifying.
Donald Duck head.
Could you imagine being in that air balloon?
I don't think anyone was in it.
Oh.
Right?
I don't know.
I hope oh my God, I hope nobody was in there.
Did you see an airplane flying right towards you?
That would be horrifying.
One time I was driving the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu, the PCH as it's referred to in LA. It was late evening, maybe around 9 p.m. There weren't a lot of cars on the road, and it was a pretty dark night. As I drove down the highway, I saw a person jogging down the side of the road wearing a giant full-body teddy bear costume, almost like they were a mascot. They were jogging with their cellular in their hand, letting the light guide them. It was so weird because where had they come from? Why were they jogging down the side of the highway at night? I'll never know.
Why did they have a giant teddy bear costume on? People are fucking nuts.
Teddy bears, chickens.
What the fuck?
I was walking to my car after work one day when a man came traipsing out of the bushes. He pointed directly at me and asked, "Do I look like Tom Cruise?" I told him no, and he said, "Well, then who do I look like?" I answered, "Yourself," because it was the only thing I could think of. He nodded, said, "Damn right," and went right back into the bushes.
What?
That sounded really familiar.
Yeah, we've done that one before. But it's fucking weird.
It is weird. A few years ago, I was on break with a coworker. We worked in retail, but it was still early in the morning, so the parking lot was empty. Well, a car pulled up to the curb, and a man got out and took his shirt off. Then a woman got out of the car and sprayed baby powder all over the man's body. She repeatedly squeezed the bottle, and my coworker and I just watched as baby powder got everywhere. After the man was thoroughly bathed in powder, the duo got right back in the car and drove out of sight. My coworker and I, shocked, tried to see if this whole ordeal was caught on camera, but sadly it wasn't. We still laugh about it to this day.
People are fucking weird. I don't know. He must have been sweaty or something.
I guess. Maybe they were on a road trip and, who knows. I sat down on the train and this guy took one look at me, whipped out a sketch pad, and started scribbling away, glancing in my direction every few seconds. Whenever I looked over at him, he angled his sketch pad away and avoided eye contact. When I looked away, he was back to his drawing. At one stop, he stood and got off the train. By then, I was just staring at him. He stepped onto the platform, turned around, and looked me straight in the eyes with absolute seriousness. Just as the doors were about to close without breaking eye contact, he raised the sketch pad for me to see. He drew me, stark naked, standing under a palm tree with an absolutely massive, larger-than-life penis.
What?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, would you be flattered? Or
I don't know.
What the fuck? What is wrong with people?
Oh my god. I was grocery shopping one day and had my mask on, so it was kind of hard to talk since the sound was a bit muffled. I was at the deli and needed cold cuts, so I said it louder than usual, and the person working there understood. She proceeded to tell me to have a great day, told me to stay safe, and gave me a thumbs up. I wanted to tell her thank you, and I told myself that I too should give her a thumbs up. I put my hand up, ready to close out this kind interaction, but accidentally gave her the middle finger. I couldn't believe that I did that.
That's so something I would do. Oh my god. That's hilarious. Oh my god.
And what do you say? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Is it like Tourette's of your hand?
I think it is. It's just muscle memory. You can't help it. Who gives a thumbs up?
Yeah, really.
The only time you're giving anyone a finger is the middle one. I get that. That's hilarious, though.
One time I was using the bathroom in this huge mall, and the guy in the stall next to me asked if I could pass him some toilet paper since he ran out. When I passed him the toilet paper, he rolled a cantaloupe back to me. There I was on the toilet, frozen in shock and confusion. The guy was wearing cowboy boots, and as he was leaving, he yelled, "Farty!" and let one rip.
I want that guy to be my dad. That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh, people are weird.
That's totally a dad. What other explanation is there?
Totally.
Here, you give me some toilet paper, here's a cantaloupe. That's hilarious.
And do you take the cantaloupe or do you leave it?
It was on the bathroom floor. I don't care if it was just the outside. No, that's
true.
Gross.
That's gross.
I'd leave it there. Let the next person wonder what the hell there's a cantaloupe doing in the bathroom.
That's almost funnier. I'd be like, okay. I'm just going to go to the bathroom. One time I was minding my business and eating lunch in this picnic area at the park. All the other tables around me were full, and I was eating lunch alone. Literally, out of nowhere, I got slapped in the face by a foreign object. It didn't hurt, but I was more stunned at the fact that I had just gotten bombarded. I looked around to see who could have thrown something at me, but everyone was just eating and acting normal. I was so confused, I looked down at what hit me and saw that it was a Ziploc bag filled with boneless wings. Huh? To this day, I have no idea where those wings could have come from. It was one of them people sitting around us.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before because we've done this one before. Yeah, someone was a great actor, chucked it at their head and then, pretended like everything was normal.
All right, and this is my last one. The strangest thing that ever happened to me was when I was in the Philippines, and a group of excited women kept following me around and asking me if I was Natalie Portman. I said I wasn't. I wish I looked like her, but they didn't believe me. They then asked if I was Jewish, and when I didn't say no, because I am, they kept bouncing up and down, excitedly exclaiming that I was definitely Natalie Portman. They insisted on taking a photo of me, so I ultimately just gave up and let them. Now, somewhere in the Philippines, there's a group of people showing off their friends and family a picture of a random British Jewish lady who's definitely not Natalie Portman. I don't even know if I spoke for the rest of the day. I was so boggled.
That is adorable. They were convinced. That is hilarious. I love it.
And that's all I got.
Have you ever seen pictures of people who think they met?
Oh, yeah.
And it's hilarious.
They're hilarious, yeah.
They were so excited for no reason. That's
yeah.
great. All right, thank you so much for listening. Send in your stories. We need them. ghoulisnightoutpodcast@gmail.com. You can rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen, and we will talk to you next week.
Later.
Bye.